So most people in crypto, they want to create generational wealth. They want to become millionaires and set themselves up well for the future. And that's awesome. I think everybody should have the opportunity to do that. And crypto makes that possible. And now that there are new people coming into Shiba Inu and many people are coming in with not a ton of capital, I think it's important to have this discussion. Can you become a millionaire with Shiba Inu? And frankly, what I want to speak about is, can you do it with just $1,000? So there are some very lofty projections from some people when it comes to Shiba Inu, and I tend to be more on the reserve side. I'm not a moon boy. I try to look at things realistically, and I want to give you guys my kind of realistic take on where Shiba Inu could go and what that would do here. So when we look at Shib right now, we're trading at about 40256. I'm going to round this to 4025 just to make it nice and clean. And right now, $1,000 would yield you about 40 million tokens. So right now, Shib's all-time high sits at 4088. So let me just plug that in to show you what that would look like right now. So if Shiba Inu does in fact climb back to its prior all-time high, right now that would actually turn your $1,000 into $3,500. So that's actually not a bad move at all, guys. The 3.5x is what people in the stock market wait years to do. And something like Shiba Inu, for example, can do it in a very short period of time. In fact, back here, just back at March, for those that got in either during that pump or who got in after, you guys can see it tackled and did a 4.5x in just 7 days. So that type of potential, that explosive move potential does lie here for Shiba Inu. All right, lies here for a lot of assets in the space, frankly. And now we're getting into times where retail is set to flow in faster. Alt season does make things move a little faster. Wouldn't surprise me if Shib did blow past this prior all-time high. And because of the things it has going for it, huge optics throughout the world, top 3 in that regard, whales flowing in a big way. I got another video coming about that later today. And because of potential advanced utility and further adoption and it being so readily available amongst all these exchanges, it makes Shib a natural place for people to flow into. Not to mention the fact that people have the long-term mindset. They've been removing Shiba Inu from exchanges in a big way. At some point, we may see a supply shock. So be prepared for that. But my projection for this cycle isn't crazy high past here. I've said that we're probably going to end up somewhere between 305 to 201. And this is obviously not financial advice. This is just my thoughts based on what I'm seeing, especially early on in this cycle now. So if we start to take a look at those kind of numbers, for example, 305, if you put $1,000 in Shiba Inu right now, that, for example, that move would turn it into about 20 grand, which is not a small move at all. It's about a 20x move. Yeah, I've been in this space for quite some time, and the most I've done is about a 30x. I've done a couple 20s. I've done a bunch of 10s. But it's very difficult to make some of these big moves. Not every asset is conducive for these kind of moves. The bigger an asset gets, the more it takes to move the needle, the longer it takes to make moves like this. Now, if we end up going all the way up to that 201 projection, you guys could see that your $1,000 then turns into 40 grand. Now, obviously, there's no guarantee that this happens, guys. This is just my thoughts based on what I'm seeing in this cycle of where Shiba Inu could run to. Now, this is obviously still a long way from $1 million. In order for Shib to get to $1 million, if you had $1,000 that you'd put in, you'd actually have to get to about 2.5 cents. And understand that is a very big number when it comes to Shiba Inu. We're talking over $1.2 trillion market cap, $1.1 trillion market cap. No, 1.3. Sorry, 1.3. And it would take a very long time, multiple market cycles in order to do that. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it's going to happen either, right? I understand that the crypto market is expected to grow in huge ways in the coming years. Right now, we actually sit at about $2.6 trillion market cap in terms of the global market cap of crypto. And we're expected to be over 10 trillion by the end of this market cycle, over 100 trillion by the end of the next market cycle. So 2029, 2030, that's how big the market's expected to be. And it's all a question of whether Shib continues to take these steps forward like we're seeing. It's gaining dominance in the cycle, which is very exciting. And it wouldn't be surprising because of the optics that Shiba Inu has, if it has a very good cycle this cycle, for it to continue that growth and continue moving down the road. The Shiba Inu community is strong, and it wouldn't surprise me if they continue to push things further and further and further. But I wanted to share that math with you guys. We just have to make sure we maintain our sense of realism when it comes to this. Okay, we have to be realistic on these prices. But I'm excited for what Shib can do in this market cycle. These are all just guesses, but let's see what happens. I want to hear your guys' thoughts below, but appreciate you as always. Have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.